Okay, so Mendel in his second cross takes the offspring from his first cross. Remember, they all came out purple, right? And if you remember back a few videos, we didn't understand why they came out all purple. He just bred the true breeding purples with the true breeding whites, and he got all purples. So he took those offspring. Okay, we know that they were carrying a purple and a white allele, but he didn't. So he takes those offspring and he bred them together. So if we set up our Punnett square, we put one of the parents up here and one of the parents here. They both happen to be identical. And when we start breeding them, what are the chances that the offspring will look a certain way? Well, remember, if we take this allele here and this allele, capital P, we can place it into this box and we get capital P, capital P. In this box, capital P, lowercase p. In this box, lowercase p, capital P. If there's a dominant or capital letter, I always try to write it first if it's going to end up in the box. Just makes it easier. And over here, we have a lowercase p and a lowercase p. So each parent happen to be capital P, lowercase p. That's their genotype. Okay. And when we cross them together, what are they going to look like? Remember, phenotype means outside appearance. So what is the outside appearance for these offspring here? They're capital P, capital P. They have two dominant alleles. So they're going to be purple. Here's a dominant and a recessive. So we have a purple and a white allele. So these offspring are going to come out purple. We have another purple allele, white allele. So these offspring are going to come out purple. And these offspring here have a white allele and a white allele. So they're going to come out white. We can look to see how this happened if we go back and look at the parent. Each parent was capital P, lowercase p. When they make their sex cells, this parent is going to pass on a copy of this allele or a copy of this allele. This parent is going to pass on a copy of this allele or this allele. If this sex cell carrying this dominant allele, the purple allele, happens to fuse with this sex cell carrying a purple allele, the offspring are going to come out purple. If this sex cell happens to fuse with this sex cell, the offspring are also going to come out purple. They're just going to be carriers. If this sex cell happens to fuse with this sex cell, they both have a recessive allele. They're both going to come out white. So 3/4 of these offspring, or 75%, come out purple. These two boxes here have the exact same genotype. They both have a dominant and a recessive. So 50% have the same genotype, the same combination of alleles. When an organism has two dominant alleles, we call that homozygous dominant. In the case of Mendel's flowers, that would be purple. If an organism has two recessive alleles, we call that homozygous recessive. In the case of his flowers, that means they're white. And if an organism has a dominant and a recessive allele, that's referred to as heterozygous. And in the case of the flower color, one dominant and one recessive means it's only going to show the dominant, so it's going to be purple. So you've got new vocabulary words here. Homozygous dominant. Homo means same, so the same alleles. Dominant. Homozygous recessive. Homo means same, so the same alleles, recessive. One dominant, one recessive means heterozygous. That's it. That's how you write the word. There's no dominant or recessive after that because by definition, hetero means different. One dominant, one recessive.